Welcome to the True Wealth Investors Real Estate Podcast. Creative investing strategies to help you build true wealth. I'm your host, Chad Harris. All right, welcome back. Chad Harris here, True Wealth Investors Podcast. Always glad to have you. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please leave a rating and review. I appreciate the help. Helps me know that you're listening. It helps others find us. So one of our core beliefs is that we grow our business by serving others. And too many people fall into the trap of thinking, I'm going to grow my business based on how I make the most money. And we become the focus, and our business becomes the focus. And we lose track of the fact that our customer should be the focus. And that could be our tenants, that could be our end buyer if we're doing a flip or a wholesale, that could be our lender if we're raising money from private lenders. And today's topic is related to that, in that the question is debt good? Should I have debt? Should I pay off properties? What should I focus on? Because that's going to lead to how we structure our deals. And a lot of people struggle with this, and really the answer is going to end up being, how do we serve others best? Okay, so initially the question, should we have debt? Is debt good or bad? And there are two kinds of debt. You can have good debt or you can have bad debt. And bad debt is going to be consumer debt, right? Where we gain that debt because we're overspending, or we're spending more than we have, more than we make. And we're the ones that end up paying that debt off. That is not good. So that's what's considered bad debt. Good debt is debt that is on an asset, and that asset pays the debt off. Okay? And so today we're talking about good debt, and I'm going to make the argument that you should keep good debt, that we shouldn't try, at least initially, to pay our properties off. So I believe I end the episodes with build your dream life one door at a time. And so we want to build a portfolio of rentals, build a portfolio of assets that will give us cash flow. And too many people struggle with cash flow, especially in today's market. Prices are rising. Interest rates are rising, so the cost of financing is higher. And so how do you cash flow properties with rising interest rates? Well, we're going to solve both of those problems, okay? And the solution to both problems is going to be private money. So what I advocate is that we should not pay our properties off initially, as long as we're growing. So are you trying to acquire more debt? Are you trying to buy more properties? If that's the case, then the properties you currently have, you shouldn't be paying off. There should not be an amortized payment on those properties. Okay, and in future episodes, we're going to talk about risk and how we assess risk, and how our debt payment really is the key indicator in the risk in our business, for us and for our lenders. So if we are doing an amortized payment, which is so common, especially a lot of people like that 15-year amortized payment, then our cash flow is going to be small. And that small cash flow, one, we're going to struggle on that property, but also that means the next property, we're going to borrow as much as we can on the next property. On the flip side, if we make our payment as small as we can on the first property with an interest-only payment, then we have a wider spread if something happens with that rental. So that makes it lower risk. We get more cash flow. But also that means we have more cash for the next property. Okay? So when we purchase that next property, we don't have to borrow as much because we have profits from the first property. And so if we are growing, we are working against ourselves if we're paying off debt on one property and trying to acquire debt on the next property. It's much better to try to build your portfolio, acquire the debt that you need, good debt, and once you hit your goal, then pay off all the debt. All right, we'll go into the loan constant and how that's better later. So how does this relate to, or what's this have to do with serving others? I know that's what you're asking. So this relates to serving others in that, in actuality, this benefits our lenders. They prefer interest-only payments. They prefer not to be paid back because when we start paying principal back to them, they don't get a return on that principal sitting in their account. Okay? And so it seems counterintuitive, but we'll be able to raise more money if we offer interest-only payments, meaning the money they lend stays in our business and we continue to pay them interest. So it actually serves them, it helps them accomplish their goals, and at the same time, it helps us have better cash flow on each property and acquire more properties quicker. In the recent years, you have obviously seen that prices are going up, rents are going up. If we acquire properties quickly, we are going to be the winner. All right. So if we can acquire properties as fast as possible, we will benefit from that appreciation over time and the increase in rents. And when we decide to pay off our debt, it'll be much easier if we have 10 tenants or 50 tenants or 100 tenants helping us pay off the debt instead of one tenant at a time paying off each property. Okay, I hope that helps. If it doesn't make sense, tune in. We have a couple episodes coming about loan constant and actually running through the math, explaining exactly how this will help you build a portfolio faster, make more money, and be able to raise more money quickly. All right, until then, we'll catch you next week for another episode. Keep building your dream life one door at a time. We are adding new episodes every week, so make sure and subscribe and check out all of our content at truewealthinvestors.com.